Hi, my name is Chris Castro. I'm a senior here at VCU studying psychology. My animal education essay was about my little puppy Jenna. She passed away at 13 years old about 2 months ago, and her death taught me a lot about how to treat animals and other forms of life. The first thing I learned was that as pet owners and as humans, we need to dismiss our selfish needs and really understand when to prioritize an animal's needs versus our own. I think ideally we would love to spend millions of years with our animals, but when it comes time to when they need to pass, we need to respect that and honor their wishes, as pet owners especially, and with animals in general. And the last thing I learned was to just treat animals and other forms of life, human and non-human, with respect. I tend to look at other animals really happy now because when I see my cousin's dogs playing around, running around, like going psycho over treats, I remember when my puppy was like that a few years ago. And it shines a light on other people's animals, and that we should be treating them with respect and honoring them because they have precious life just like as we do as humans.
How y'all doing? I'm Charles James the Fourth. My story is like when I was younger, I always used to watch the National Geographic Channel, and I actually fell in love with dolphins because it was one of the most smartest animals. And my mom actually took me to see a dolphin, well, multiple dolphins, but I actually fell in love with one dolphin named Mike. And while I was there, I had ended up going to the Atlanta Aquarium, Georgia Aquarium it's called, and it was fun. Like, I genuinely loved it. And they had one of the best dolphin shows, and I actually got to meet Mike, and it was like I had met somebody that I felt comfortable. Like, therapy is a real thing, and most people don't realize, like, you can look at other things besides humans for help or just comfort in general. So I decided, like, that became a comfort place for me and something that was very comfortable for me. So in my opinion, I love dolphins, but you might love something else, and I would always look for animals and other things for help, but that's my experience. Thank you.
So growing up, my mom did not allow us to have any pets, and that's because she was really afraid of dogs, because she grew up in Ethiopia, which is where I was born in Africa, and there's stray and wild dogs everywhere. And she got bit by one, so she had a huge scar across her leg, and so she was really scared of dogs. She thought that they were filled with like aggression, they were violent. So whenever we were in America and we went on walks, if there was a dog on one side of the street, we would go to the other side of the street. So she kind of instilled in me and my sisters that dogs were dangerous. So from this experience, I learned that not to judge animals, because just like no two humans are alike, no two animals are alike, and that we shouldn't categorize animals or even humans in general into categories just because of one experience we may had or someone told us about a time.
Hello, my name is Rashid Alain. I'm a sophomore biology, pre-dental track major at VCU. When I was younger, my family, my mom, my dad, my siblings are all allergic to dogs, so I never really was around dogs like that, and until I started hanging out with my uncle over the summer and working at his dog training facility. Basically, he trained pit bulls or other big breeded dogs that like a lot of people are scared of, and trained them for protection or just any type of training, basic training for household animals. And my parents would always ask me when I got home, like, "I'm glad you're safe. Are you okay?" And I never really understood that, and it was just because the simple fact that pit bulls or those type of dog breeds are kind of have a bad name, and people in society are really scared of them because the dog never did anything to me, and they kind of got a bad name. So I didn't really like how pit bulls got a bad name just off of what other people thought of them and not their own experiences. People should do their own research, figure out the animal for themselves, have their own experiences with those animals before they go ahead and judge the animals on other people's viewpoints. Thank you.